Welcome to Phases of Spice. I'm Selena, your hostess. So today, I am going to be preparing for you a Mexican-inspired chili con carne baked ziti. I can't wait to start showing you what we have going on today. So to prepare our meal today, these are our ingredients. We're going to use ground beef, sour cream, minced garlic, mild and sharp cheddar cheese. I'm going to be using baked ziti, as we talked about before, black beans, 2 cans of diced tomatoes, a can of tomato paste. This here is a celery, onion, and carrot mixture. I got it right from my local grocer, which I'm sure you can as well. And I'm going to be using my own spice blend called Jab into Ribs. And the reason I'm using this blend today is because it has cinnamon and brown sugar, which are ingredients found in a lot of Mexican dishes. And we're going to be making the baked ziti in this aluminum pan for easy cleanup. So let's get baking, everybody. So what we're going to start off doing is preheating our oven. While it's preheating, we are going to add, let me step back. We would have put the oil in the pan. All right, we're just gonna coat the bottom of our pan with our EVOO. Turn our heat on. While we heat our pan, I am going to just step over here and grab our meat, which would be next. Okay, so as I said, I bought a pre-mixed celery, onion, and carrot. I'm not going to use all of this because it'll be probably a little overwhelming. So actually, let me use a spoon. Probably going to use about half of this container. I love these pre-mixes. Especially during the week when you're just getting off of work and you don't feel like chopping. But usually I love getting fresh produce from the farmer's market because they're usually really economical, and of course we just like supporting our small businesses and local farmers. I'm just spreading this out some. I think I'm going to add just a little bit more. That's about it. So what I'm going to do is just cook this just about 2 minutes, just so it can get tender. And while that is getting tender, I'm going to add a scoop of my minced garlic. Make sure we drain some of the juice out. So now we are about to add our meat. This is about 1 1/3 pound of ground beef. I am going to separate it out, and then I'm going to add our seasoning. Some people like to season their meat before they put it in the pan and mix it all around. That, of course, is a great tactic too. Again, I always say, whatever floats your boat. Now I'm going to add the seasoning. And because, again, this is salt-free, you can be as liberal as you like. Because we all know when you're cooking, it's about getting that spice right. All right, so now our meat is nice and brown. What I'm going to do is quickly drain it, pop it back in the pan, and then I'm going to start adding our tomatoes, tomato paste, and black beans. Be back in a sec. So now that we've drained our meat, what I also have done is got a pot of water prepared so that we can start boiling it for our ziti. When I boil pasta, I always put some salt in. I happen to use sea salt, but you know, use whatever salt you like. I also put a bit of olive oil also in my water. So now I'm going to turn that on to high. I'm going to cover it and let that start boiling. So now back to our meat. What I'm going to do is drain my tomatoes, then add this right to the pan. Add our tomato paste. Just need a little help. And then our black beans. Again, drain them. I've had our beans. Now, remember, once you drain your meat, you want to turn your flame back onto a medium heat. And also what I want to do, because I also want to ensure this has a little bit of moisture, is I'm actually going to, this is probably a good cam, I want to fill this up with water and dump it in. All right, now let's combine our content. If you all could just smell this, I mean, my mouth is watering already. It's like I could eat this just like this. Just another thing too, what I've also seen in similar style recipes is that some people actually prefer to use kidney beans versus black beans. So again, it's more of your preference for your taste buds, whichever is best for you and your family. Now I am going to cover this, let it simmer, and I'm just going to kind of keep a watch on it to make sure it doesn't start over boiling. Make sure we're moving the flavors around as we wait for our water to boil. All right, see you in a bit. Okay, now we're going to add our ziti because our water is nice and hot and boiling. I'm just moving it around while it goes in so it doesn't stick. And you're going to cook your ziti until it's al dente. So pretty much you want it cooked thoroughly, but you don't want it mushy. So we'll see you in a few minutes. It's been about 10 minutes, so let's check on our pasta. Oh yeah, look at that. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to strain this in the colander and immediately dump it back into our meat mixture. All right, here we go. Add our ziti. And I had turned our mixture down while it was, we were waiting for our our ziti. So I'm just going to turn this back up to medium and stir this in. Actually, let me get a spoon. And the reason why I turned this back up is because we're also going to add the cheese. So we want to make it nice and hot when we start combining. I'm trying to be extra cautious because kind of after the fact, I was thinking I probably should have wore a darker shirt if I was dealing with a red sauce. But hey, hindsight's 20/20, they say. So, as we talked about before, I'm going to add the sharp cheddar. But because I so happen to have some Mexican blends on hand, I thought I'd add it in there. Why not? So I'm going to stir this in just to get it moved around, and then I'm going to add the cheddar. All right, now I'm going to add this cheddar. And then once I mix this around, I'm going to add in this last batch of the Mexican blend. This one was reduced fat. So yes, we keep a lot of cheese in our house because we're always adding it to something. Cheesy, nice and cheesy. Exactly what you think of when you are having lasagna and ziti. And it's just cheese. That's what you think. Cheese, pasta, and meat. And sauce. My hand touched it. And before we finish it off, of course, I can't help but add just a little bit more seasoning. Again, I love seasoning. Especially again, because this blend doesn't have salt. You can go all out. So now that our cheese is nicely melted, I'm actually going to turn this off. And I'm going to bring over our pan so that we can start transferring it over. And I'm just doing this a scoop at a time because my pot is really heavy, so I can't lift it up and dump it. I'm so excited to eat this. My daughter, who is also my videographer, photographer, film director, you name it, we were just saying how much we just cannot wait to eat this. It just smells so good. Oh, did I mention my daughter is also a YouTuber? Woo! Her link is actually going to be in the bio, so if you want to check her out, feel free. And make sure you tell your friends. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is put our Mexican chili con carne inspired baked ziti into the oven. Remember, we already preheated it to 350. Actually, what I'm going to do is put a pan under here just because it's really kind of heavy, just to stabilize it. And you'll see that I'm not covering it up yet, and I'm not putting any cheese on top just yet. So I'm actually going to put it in the oven until you start to see some of that moisture just evaporate just a little bit. So probably for a good 10 minutes. And then I'll come back and put the cheese on top and sour cream. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes. And let's check on our ziti. Woo. Oh, nice. Oh, look at that. Whew. All right. So, in the interim, what I could have done, but didn't, but it's okay. I'm actually going to mix my mild cheddar cheese with sour cream. And this is actually going to be our topping. We're going to spread it across the top of our ziti and then put it back in the oven. Okay, so we're going to put a nice big squeeze. Unfortunately, I don't have your measure, but just know it was a nice big squeeze. More than likely, I'm going to use the entire package of sour cream. I do want it to be moist. I can't wait to see how this turns out. This is my first time making it this way. Ugh. Ugh, muscles. Ooh, yummy, 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 yummy. Now, we are going to spread this across the top. You saw me sneak a little bit in here. Now we're going to spread this across the top. And we'll put it back in the oven until it has a nice golden color. Pretty much the same as if you would make any other type of casserole style dish, where you like to see a nice brown at the top. Just spread this out. Okay, so now we're nice and spread. And I'm going to put this back in, again, uncovered. And I'm going to start off with 10 minutes. But as I said before, you want to make sure it has a nice golden color, golden brown color, and then it'll be done. See you in about 10 minutes. All right, so let's check out our big ziti. Oh, yummy. Oh, look at that. Woo. All right, I would say we actually kept it in for a good 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. Yeah, just to make sure that, again, we wanted to make sure it was nice and crisp on the top. And look at that beautiful coloring. Love it. So, obviously what we don't want to do right now is eat it. So we're gonna give this some time to cool a little bit so that then we can do the taste test. All right, so see you in a little bit. All right, so now that our ziti has cooled down, I am so excited to taste our Mexican inspired chili con carne big ziti. Look at this. So you see the black beans, the tomatoes, the cheese. This tastes so good. I can really taste the cinnamon from the seasoned blend. Oh my goodness, this is so good. Let's try this topping because again it has sour cream and our cheddar cheese. Okay, like I said, I was just trying this recipe, making it a little different. Definitely A1. I highly recommend it. Not just saying it because I did it, but this was really good. So, I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch me make my chili con carne big ziti. And if you like what you see, please like, share, and subscribe. And please tell your friends. So again, we could all be friends. All right. Have a good one, everybody. Bye.